Hi, y'all. Welcome back to Weekday. Thank you so much for joining me and choosing to be here again today. I truly do appreciate it. Today's episode is about 10 lessons I've learned so far in life. Not because I have it all figured out, because I definitely don't, but because I've lived enough to know what matters, what doesn't, and what I wish I had understood sooner. Life doesn't teach you lessons all at once either. You ever realize that? Most of them come quietly through heartbreak, healing, mistakes, and moments you never thought you'd survive. Some lessons come from love, some from loss, and others from finally choosing yourself. If you're in a season of growth, letting go, rebuilding, or just trying to make sense of where you are right now, then this episode is for you. These are lessons learned the hard way, the honest way, and the real way. So let's get into it. All right, so lesson 1 that I have learned so far in these 37 years that I've been on earth is honesty costs less than lies. The truth can be uncomfortable short term, but it frees up the long term. So what does that mean exactly? Well, that means that as much as it can be uncomfortable to tell the truth, it's better to be honest from the beginning, and there's less to remember too. What I tell my son is, would you rather me be upset once or twice? If you're honest with me the first time, I'll only be upset once. But if you lie to me, then you'll be in trouble twice. You'll be in trouble for lying, of course, and then for the action of which you lied for. Makes sense, right? I would also like to add how when you lie, it just causes stress and anxiety and makes you all uncomfortable, and you have all of these things to remember, or your lies unravel, causing all this unnecessary chaos and drama. It's also important to be honest with yourself too, not just with others. If you're avoiding a hard truth right now, this might be your sign. Lesson 2, kindness always wins. I would like for you to take away from this is kindness is definitely a strength. It's not a weakness. Okay, choosing kindness, even when it is not returned, is very valuable. I know that there are times when it's so difficult to be kind to other people because they can be condescending, or you can just tell that they're wearing a mask or whatever. But being kind is always the right answer in return. You always get more bees with honey than vinegar. Now, there's a huge difference between kindness and people-pleasing. Kindness is using manners, having compassion, and being a good person overall. People-pleasing is doing everything that another person asks, even when it's an inconvenience to you, and only they benefit. And they don't even acknowledge your quote-unquote good deed. You know what I mean? Kindness can definitely change outcomes in conflict, though. If you're having an argument and you just meet hate with hate or meanness with meanness, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you show an act of kindness in a disagreement, it could turn the tables and make things work out a little bit differently. Just know that you do not lose power by being kind. You only gain credibility. Number 3, you should always give your all, but don't give yourself away. Effort without boundaries leads to burnout, right? That means you give way too much and didn't get anything in return. Now, this is more than just a physical, right? This could be about mental too. And actually, I think I mean this more about the mental aspect than physical. Because I know that I've given so much mentally to different relationships in my life, and they have rarely had any people reciprocate back to me authentically until I started steering clear of the people that bring me down or wear two different faces. But that is a talk for a different day. Okay, so carrying over from that last lesson, I have lesson number 4, which is take no crap, but also don't become too hard. We want boundaries without bitterness, right? You need to learn to say no without feeling that you need to stand up for yourself, without having any guilt. You need to keep your softness intact. Don't let the bitterness of others make you hard, okay? We want you to stay nice and soft and fluffy. You can be firm on your boundaries, but be kind at the same time. Number 5, we're plugging right along here, people. I hope that you guys have stuck around so far. I really, really do appreciate it. So number 5 is, not everybody gets the same version of you. And what version of you they do get is earned. It's not automatic. You do not want to overshare your personal life with the wrong people because, honestly, not everybody is your friend. And at the end of the day, those real life situations expose fake people. You need to adjust your energy based on the behaviors of other people. And if you find yourself detached from certain individuals who drain you, think of that as a growth, not a letdown. Distance can be a form of self-respect. It doesn't have to always be looked at as something negative. And I think a lot of people do look at it as something negative because growth is hard. So by now, you probably have noticed a little trend with these last couple of lessons. And this goes right into those as well. You can love someone and still walk away. Your love, or the lack of, does not cancel your self-worth. Now, this can mean leaving somebody who wasn't really healthy for you, or somebody you have outgrown, or someone who just chose to walk a little different path than you. You can also let go without having hatred in your heart or towards the individual that you were choosing to walk away from. Sometimes you have to choose your peace over attachment. Walking away doesn't erase the love. It means you honor yourself and you are choosing you. And that, my friend, is something very, very beautiful. Number 7, silence teaches you everything that you need to know. You just need to observe and not react in haste. Okay? I'm a very quiet individual for the most part. I like to sit and just listen and watch, and I only ever really put my input on things that I'm knowledgeable in. You can learn a lot about individuals just by watching them and seeing how they interact with others and themselves. I truly have learned a lot just by watching. And if people's patterns don't change, but they keep apologizing, that just means that they were never really sorry to begin with. Because actions definitely speak louder than words. My silence has brought me clarity. Like I said, I've stepped away from a lot of different relationships just because I see that I brought more to the table. And I'm not talking about the physical things, okay? Mentally, I brought more. Emotionally, I brought more. And it took a lot of hurt for me to get where I am now mentally. I remember a time I was sitting there with somebody. They were crying too, by the way, which is what got to me and got me in my feelings and made me start to cry regarding something that was going on with their loved one. I was really into it and what they were telling me, and I really got emotionally invested just for them to start laughing at me at the end of the story with said loved one, by the way, and they made me feel so small and inadequate. Not a very good feeling, Ending this lesson, I just want you to start watching what people do when you stop explaining, and then you'll see what happens. All right, number 8. This one really resonates with me. My past explains me, but it doesn't define who I am. I've grown a lot over the years, and I'm not the person that I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, heck, even who I was 15 years ago. And you are not your worst chapter, and I am not my worst chapter. Shame is different than understanding. We never want to shame ourselves, okay? Shame is a horrible thing. Everything that we said or did at one point in our life was exactly what we wanted to say or do. So we just need to know the difference and not shame ourselves. And it is also important to never erase your past. You can have growth without completely eliminating who you were in the past. You need to give yourself grace, okay? Lots and lots of grace. You can honor where you've been without living there. I'm so grateful for my past and every action that I took, because every action had a reaction, and that reaction led me to where I am now. 9. Okay, here we go. Healing isn't linear, and some progress looks very messy. We all have good days, and we all have hard days, and some days, the hard days are easier to see than the good days. It seems like there's always an overabundance of the hard ones, right? And it's easy to feel like you are quote unquote behind everybody else while you're still healing and, trying to find yourself. You just need to learn to have patience with yourself and realize that every body has a different growth and every body grows at a different pace. Setbacks don't erase our growth either. Just keep that in mind. Our setbacks do not erase our growth. Lesson 10. Protect your peace like it is priceless. Peace is the real success. You need to cut out the chaos, cut out the toxic people, cut out the toxic relationships, and the toxic environments. Choose rest, choose boundaries, and choose simplicity. There is true beauty in simplicity too. You also need to learn to define success and what it means to you. If it costs you your peace, then it's way too expensive and you don't need it in your life. Like I said, peace is the most important thing. And that is the most important thing that people can obtain. And I want all of us to protect our peace no matter what. If there's anything I hope that you take away from this episode, it's that you're not behind. You're not late. You're not failing. You are still learning. These lessons didn't come from having life figured out, like I said. They came from living it, from mistakes, from love, from loss, from setting boundaries, and from choosing myself even when it was uncomfortable. And the truth is, I'm still learning some of this stuff too. Before you go, I want to start something new with you, okay? Every Tuesday, I want you to leave a comment sharing one good thing that happened to you. It doesn't have to be anything big or impressive, okay? Just real life stuff. Maybe your favorite coffee place made your favorite drink exactly the way that you like it. Maybe you just made your bed. Maybe you just got through a really hard day. If it mattered to you, it matters to me, and it counts. Let's make Tuesdays about noticing the good even on ordinary days. And I'll be checking the comments too, and I love to see what you share. Next week, we're getting into what it really looks like to stop accepting things that drain you, and how taking no crap isn't about being cold. It's about self-respect. Thank you for spending part of your day with me, for listening, and for being here. Take care of yourself, notice the small wins, and I'll see you next Tuesday on Weekday. Until then, stay real, stay raw, stay curious.